But anyway, LeBron James was the Western Conference Player of the Month. And look, LeBron had his typical great month. I mean, he's LeBron James. This is what he does.
He puts up numbers.
Right.
We all know that.
And he's a great player. You don't say it like that. Just say it like he's a stat
No,
stuffer.
but he puts up numbers.
You said it like, what you trying to say?
I'm just
say it with your chest.
I'm saying it with my chest.
He's not a great player.
I didn't say
he's
that.
He's just a numbers guy.
But he fills the stat sheet better than anybody.
You talking about him like he's Matt Stafford, Padford.
He's the stat pad for the basketball. He is.
Stop it,
Look
Rob.
at his plus minus.
That is ridiculous.
No,
Stop it. All right, anyway, these were LeBron's numbers for January. 25 points a game.
That ain't that special.
10.5 assists.
That ain't that
8
special.
boards.
That ain't that
50% shooting from the floor.
All right, that's not bad.
And he led. The Lakers were 10-4 in the month. He missed one game. They were 9-4 when LeBron played. But let me tell you this. When I heard that LeBron was the Western Conference Player of the Week, I was stunned. And one name was popping in my brain, ringing in my ears. Dame.
So did you say Dame?
Damian Lillard.
I thought you were saying damn. What were you saying? Dame?
And I had to do a double take, right? I had to say, wait a minute, this streak he's on where he's averaging 48 points a game, that was in January, right? It wasn't December or February. Yes, it was January. So I said, how in the world does LeBron win the Player of the Month? His 39th, by the way. 39th Player of the Month award.
That's unbelievable.
That's the all-time record. That is incredible.
That is.
Dame's got one. And I'm just going to put it out there to y'all. Damian Lillard.
Say it with your chest out.
Damian Lillard should have been the Player of the Month. Let me tell you a little bit about
Give me
what
his
he
numbers.
did. He had a 61-point game. He had a 50-point game. He had a 48 and a 47-point game. He had 6 30-plus point games. The dude averaged 34 points, 8.5 assists, 5 rebounds on 49% shooting. And check this out, 45% from Trey. All right, and he led the Blazers to a 8-7 record for the month. Now, I talked about this on Undisputed with Skip and Shannon today. And that's what they jumped on. 8-7.
Right. No, he was barely 500.
Right. This was my point, though. For the Blazers, 8-7 was an uptick
compared to where they've been.
Right. They're grooving. 8-7 for them was good. And they took out the Lakers. They took out the Rockets twice. They took out Indiana. They took out Portland. Toronto. So they beat good teams. Those are 5 great wins. And for the Lakers going 9-4 is a downturn from how well
where they were.
Playing.
That's
right.
a great point.
So to me, it was Dame Lillard. Now, Skip threw out, it should have been Kawhi. He's back on the Kawhi bandwagon.
And what was their record in the month? Were they
for Kawhi and the Clippers?
Yeah.
Here Kawhi was great. Look, Kawhi had 8 straight games of 30 or more points.
No, that's impressive.
Right? He averaged 32 for the month. Not as big as LeBron on the rebounds and assists, but good. And 50% from the floor. They went 8-2 with Kawhi in the lineup. But here's what I said about that, though. He missed 3 games.
So that could take him out of the running.
You missed 3 games just for sitting, load management.
Right,
I
got it.
And I'm just saying, I think Kawhi is willingly kind of taking himself out of these regular season awards because you're just sitting too much. I'm sorry.
There's no doubt that it's going to hurt.
Right, when you just chose to sit 3 games out. So I think it should have been Dame Lillard. And here's what I'm just wondering, Rob. And again, LeBron was great, but this is typical LeBron, the numbers he put up. And I feel like they did the Lakers a solid because, we all know the tragedy with Kobe. And obviously, LeBron handled things incredibly well with his speech before the game Friday. He had a speech that
everybody was raving about, right?
Right. He had just passed Kobe, and maybe that's some of it, too, that he just became the 3rd leading scorer
You think that might be it?
Maybe that way. So I think two things may have won. Look, obviously he played great. But beyond that, did the fact that he became the third all-time leading scorer also help him? And did they do the Lakers a solid and say, look, we know everybody's grieving, but especially you guys.
And you guys still got to go out there and play. Right.
Right. So the last Laker to be player of the month was Kobe in February of 2013.
That long ago?
I was shocked that it was that long. But think about it. Kobe was, kind of on the downturn at that point, and they've been bad since Kobe.
They've been bad for 6 years,
so
basically.
Who else was going to win it?
I thought Smush Parker would have won at least once or twice the player of the month.
Kuzma? No. Lonzo? No. But so that's my theory.
Anytime you could use Smush Parker.
Right. It's always good to throw in the Smush Parker.
What?
Reference. But I think, Rob, that's what I think. I think it should have been Dame. Where you at?
I think you make a compelling argument. I think the two things that I think is the reason that he did get it, Chris, and you just at the tail end, passing Kobe, I think during that month, that's part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. I agree with you. Damian Lillard's numbers are pretty impressive. 8 and 7 is nothing to write home about.
No.
And I get it. It's better than they've been.
Them, right.
But still, it ain't like, oh, yeah, like, what? So it's okay. But I think it was the Kobe thing. Not the Kobe thing. I think it was Kobe passing Kobe more so than the passing of Kobe.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Do you think that was the right thing by the NBA?
I don't believe in, like, giving people stuff.
And it's not like he didn't play great.
No, right. But I think that like you would be like, I passed Kobe third all time, and I wasn't the player of the month.
Okay.
Right? Could that be like a fair argument?
That makes sense. That makes sense that, because he became the third all-time leading scorer. And I think that was probably a big factor in it. But I just think what Dame has done, I mean, this guy has been on fire, on a tear. Here, Rob, are his last game he only had 21. They lost to Denver. But he had a 6-game stretch of 61 points, 47 points, 50 points, 36 points, 48 points.
That's
to end the month.
That's a great run.
Then he scored 51 on February 1st. But and then before that, it wasn't like he was bad. He had 5 30-plus point games before that in the month. His first game of January, he only had 11. Did they hold that against him or what? But Dame is playing tremendous basketball, and Portland's back in the hunt. They're 9th now in the West. 3 games out. Memphis is playing well. So
it's going to be interesting. I'm just, when I look at these teams and where they're stacking up, I do believe that there's certain teams that are still going to be there, but it will be interesting at the bottom, Chris.
Right.
At the last spot, or there might be 3 decent young teams, you know what I mean, like fighting for that last spot.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, and all of them won't be young. I mean, Memphis is 8th right now.
But I guess when I'm thinking about young, I'm thinking
Portland,
about
San Antonio.
those, okay.
San Antonio's there.
And I'm thinking about
Phoenix
New Orleans.
New Orleans, if they can get it together. They're a ways back, 5.5 back right now. But, they can go on a run. They've been playing well. And, Zion had, I guess, what you might call his first bad game last night.
I mean, he scored over 20 points, but he had to take 20 shots for it,
18,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
If that's a bad, and he's got a toe sprain, so he's listed as questionable for their next game.
Is he?
Yeah. So
is he?
You hope that, toe sprain, it doesn't sound, they call him questionable, so you're thinking it's not that bad. But if it is something that keeps him out for a few weeks, that's, again, thankfully it's just a toe versus a knee.
But you do want to see the guy like shake that injury
right, and
thing
give a nice,
just keep playing for
like a year where he just plays like everybody else.
Well, maybe it's just like maybe it's going to take him a little while to finally break out of that. You know what? Sometimes it happens. Like I told you before, I saw in Detroit, Matt Stafford, his first couple years with the line, kept getting hurt, and now he's played like 8 straight years with no injuries.
Yep.
So
I covered Zajunas Ilgauskas, who was a 7-footer early in his career. He had foot problems.
It always looked like he had struggling to walk.
He couldn't play. He had his feet were jacked up. But then once he got over that after a few years, he played. He played through several years straight. So yeah, I think he can get over it. But last night he was, look, this was a bad game. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. But he shot 5 for 18. Here's my thing. It was the Bucks. The Bucks, Rob, are a tenacious defensive team, especially around the rim. They got 7-footer and Brook Lopez. Obviously, Giannis is another 7-footer. He was 5 for 19, Zion. And so Zion usually, they play him in the post, which I like. And he's floating from block to block across the lane, and they get him the ball in there. Last night when they got it in there, Giannis was there. Brook Lopez is there. So I get it. It was a tough night to finish. But most teams aren't like that.
No.
I mean,
they don't have those kind of rim
team,
protectors and people like that. So it's growing pain. He's not going to be great every night. And like you said, he still scored over 20
points in a quote-unquote bad game. So that's a good sign for the Pelicans and Zion Williamson. But what's happening, y'all? It's Chris Broussard.
I'm Rob Parker.
And we are
The Odd Couple. Check us out as often as you can on YouTube.
And always remember, I'm Oscar, and he's Felix.
Oh, man. Are you serious?